This part is to introduce how to use SmartOne Central Issuance. We need login CCS firstly. The default username is admin, and its password is 123456. After login, click admin. I'm going to explain every part's function one by one. User group. This is to design user group privileges for server uses by admin. We can see there are 4 user privileges: admin, sole, operate, and audit. The 4 of these are belonging to a token key custodian. User management. This is server user management. We can change password right here. And corrector, deleter, edit user here. Also, we can either user for second or third login. Branch client user group is to design user group privileges for branch users. Branch client user. We can add CPS, DP client, CP client user for login, CPS, DP client, CP client. Branch client. We can add CPS, DP client, CI client by loading request file. Log management. We can view system processing log. Audit. If enabled, this option allows auditor to view audit report. Lessons. This is system activation, allow user to load lessons to a token. Configuration. We can manage database, HSM, and other system settings. Let's go to the platform part. SmartOne supports 3 Carter platforms: Java GP, Native, and Motos. The menu allows user view and edit templates file. The template file is used to create a cheap personalization job. The next part is KMS. Key management system is involving DES, RSA, and certificate. Key management. Authorized user can generate and manage production keys from various banks. To log in Central Control Server, KMS menu, and Server menu, system required at least 2 so attend. We have to know DES is used to manage system keys in HSM. It also provides DES key generation function. And RSA is to generate RSA key like this. Certificate is used to generate certificate and request file and validate certificate. Key management. allows authorized user to manage keys, certificates for project, customer, or bank. The next part is job. We can open a job firstly and save it. We need to know job file contains chip personalization public, provider data and the keys, certificates inside. CCS provides several menus to manage the chip job as belonging. First, chip management. Chip manager. Public date. Provide date is to manage TLV data in job file. Bin manager is to manage keys in job file. Pin date is specifies the pin format and sources. Second, card image, record, record date and internal date specifies the location of a data element in the file and records structure of the data for an application. The data elements enabled in the chip manager are available in this menu. Third, PDM. This section is used to deal with input date file which included cardholder date. Some sensitive date may be encrypted by CMS when deliver it to CCS, and the input date file format is user-defined. CCS extracts the useful data from file in this section. Decryption plugin. This option provides decryption and conversion functions for cardholder input data. In case of the customer, data from CMS is encrypted and could provide mandatory fields. Field Manager allows user-defined fields rule for cardholder input date, and some of these fields, like record ID, check 1, check 2, and override date, will be used for data preparation and card issuance process. We are going to data preview. Data prepare allows user to preview the check 1, check 2, CVV, and the override date, which will be personalized to chip card. It also allows user to prepare chip data for testing. After open job in it, loading is corresponding embossing data and the checker is records. Then click preview and generate it. Can say is successful. Then about card issuance, we need know input date allows user to issue cards for testing. Inline PVT allows user to configure and active PVT function. Then CCS is a very important part. Service status. The service status tab displays the status of DPS, CIS and CCS services, it would monitor these services status all the time. Job Manager load the jobs to CCS server, then user can manage these jobs in server side. And we need stop service first. Load the embossing data in, check the job status, turn deactive to active, and save it. Then start service. Part is report. A variety of reports are available within the report menu to make sure user audit easily to view the event product statistics report. Then the next part is language. By default, the language is set to English. However, users may select other available languages. The last part is help. This is about Wisecard Technology. When we finish the above, we are going to next part, DP Client. Login client site could not work before CCS service started. Client users are created by CCS. Users could log in DP Client after get username and password from CCS. User could change the password in the first login. I'm going to explain DP Client's every parse function one by one. Admin, user account. Check the DP Client account information and we can change password here. GPG or PGP. DP Client supports GPG or PGP function. It needs to log in for dual control. After dual control user log in successfully, user could enter the GPG or PGP configuration GUI. Is configuration, click configuration, CCS configuration. To enter the configuration interface, you can imagine the CCS connection information, automatic scanning frequency, and logger file location. The first part is central control server. Enter the CCS IP and the port. DP Client will connect to CCS according to this setting. The second part is auto scan. User can set the automatic scanning frequency. Third is log. Define the path to generate system log for DP Client. After purge configuration, users can define how many days they want to keep the logger files and data in database. DP Client will delete the log files and the data that generated to database automatically when beyond the defined days. DP file history, when configured as keep DP history for 7 days. That means for automation DP process, input file name could not be the same within 7 days. If one file name has ever been loaded by DP Calendar automatically, this file could not be loaded again within 7 days. It will be removed to the DP repeat fault under DP Calendar installation folder. Need know only if user modified the central control server setting. DP Calendar needs to restart to activate this change. When user click Save button, other settings will take effect immediately after user click Save button. The part is data preparation. Data preparation should be done before issue cards. It combines cardholder input date and other information to generate the chip date. Before data preparation, jobs must be loaded from CCS. Load job firstly. DP operation model has two types: manual operation and automation. Manual operation after load jobs from CCS. Selector EMV job. Clicking the drop-down box from bank, bin or EMV job in the EMV job section, user can select one job from the menu data preparation. User can also input the bin of the job to select it. Loading embossing date. Select the embossing file. This file needs to match with the selected job. Then load date. Check all. Select output file directory. Users could define the output path to generate chip date file. And we need name date. After finishing the settings, click Start DP button to start the DP process. The DP process information window will display the progress of recordings being processed. Then the next one is automation mode. After load job from CCS, either define inputter file directory, click Add button to define the auto-scan directory for DP process. DP Calendar will scan embossing files from the defined directories automatically and process DP with matched jobs. Each directory could also specify a job, so that DP Calendar will use the specified job to process DP Calendar. And the Modify button, user could change the specified job. Deleter button could delete auto-scan directories. And then define the output file directory. User could define the output path for CDT files. There are two ways to define the directory. Define output directory for each job like below. Is the parallel option. Define one output directory for output files. Please check create subfolder for each bin under this path. If you want to create single folders under this defined output directory for each bin, click Save button to save all settings. Start DP. After finishing the settings, click Start DP button to start the DP process. Software will start to scan the input data folders automatically. The automation DP process information window will display the process of recorders being processed. So the last part is CI client. So I will introduce it as before. Firstly, we need to know it provides an easy way to use user interface to issue card by menu operation, issue card automatically. We need to log in. Then we see the first part, admin configuration. In fact, this part is the same as DP client, so we are going to see the next part, card issuance. We need to click the icon download job to download and update jobs from CCS before issue cards. CI client can load all active jobs in CCS server. We should notice when work jobs of CCS have been changed. A client needs to click the download job icon to update the jobs. Card issuance model have two types. Manual operation. After download job from CCS, before issue card, user need to select a file, input file, and load it. Because this computer doesn't connect with a real printer, so we need to open a printer simulate. and input file. Load it. We need to check pen. And then start it. Or start it here. And the CI processing information window will display the process of recordings being processed. We need to wait a moment. And then we can see it's finished. Okay, then the next part is automation model. After download job from CCS, we need to define the detector folder for CDT file. User can add or delete some folders for CDT file after start CI programs. We'll scan these added folders automatically, or the input file will be loaded automatically. The loaded CTI file will be removed to CI backup folder under the data source folder. So user can save the settings by clicking the Save button. We need to enter a scan directory. And as we know, because this computer doesn't connect with a real printer, so we need to open a printer simulator. And load it. Check pen. Then start it. Or start it from here. So we need to wait a moment. We see it's successful, it will be okay. That's all, thank you.